So I want to talk about something, and this is something I've been, when I defended Atlanta's draft pick, when they got Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix, and people really freaked out. You paid Kirk Cousins what? So here's what's interesting. So the Broncos this morning think they have the guy. Bo Nix, analytically, there's a story this morning from Adam Schefter. They think Bo Nix is ready to play right now and will be as good as any quarterback of all this rookie class. So suddenly, this franchise that was a mess and all this dead cap money with Russell Wilson, they took a big swing on it. I said, Denver, big swing, Russell Wilson, I'm here for it. Everybody now freaks out. But if Bo Nix can play, they just got Zach Wilson. He'll get a reboot, talented kid. And they have Jarrett Stidham, who they could use potentially as a very nice trade piece. 66 quarterbacks played in the NFL last year. Pretty nice to have three guys, and you could move two of them. And you think you have the future in Bo Nix. And this is why I've defended Atlanta. If you're going to have more talent than you need right now in the NFL, make it at quarterback. Eventually, you can move backups. I mean, good God. Arizona was able to get a draft pick out of Josh Dobbs last year in the middle of the season. Minnesota was so desperate. So if Bo Nix hits, the Russell Wilson drama is irrelevant. And I'm going to tell you something now, and nobody wants to say this because fear drives so many decisions in the NFL and in life. People are very fear-based. Go to the internet about the election. It's all fear-based. Everything's fear-based. Nobody's optimistic. Everybody's negative. The word dead cap, when you hear that, everybody thinks, oh, it's a funeral. It's an NFL funeral. Dead cap money. I would much rather have teams take swings and end up with a little dead cap. Give you an example. The Green Bay Packers last year. Do you know how much dead cap money they had? $40 million. They not only made the playoffs, they went into Dallas and rolled them. Why? Because Jordan Love balled. The Buccaneers made the playoffs last year. $35 million of dead cap. They made the playoffs. Why? Because Baker Mayfield balled. They took a swing. They took a big swing on Brady. They won a Super Bowl. Who the hell cares if they have dead cap money? Go get another quarterback. Oh, it doesn't end there. The Rams last year, listen to this. $80 million of dead cap. Made the playoffs in a rebuild year. Why? Because they take big swings and Matt Stafford can ball. In Philadelphia, remember that 2021? Carson Wentz, what a disaster that contract is. They took a big swing. Huge dead cap money. But they drafted Jalen Hurts. He ends up being good with the right coach. Has Philadelphia struggled in recent years? Been a pretty good football team. Philadelphia, the Rams, the Packers. It's funny, Buccaneers. They're all fine. They took swings. Tampa took a swing on Brady and got a Super Bowl. You think they regret it today? 4 of the 5 highest dead cap hits last year made the playoffs. They made the playoffs. Green Bay took a big swing. They moved off Aaron Rodgers. Buccaneers made a big swing with Brady, won a Super Bowl. And then they took a swing on Baker. If Bo Nix can play, then the Russell Wilson thing, it's going to be last year's news. Nobody's going to care. Where you don't want to be in the NBA, where you don't want to be, is in the middle. You're in quicksand. You're not terrible. You're not great. A big swing can make you great and get your ring. And if it blows up, you get a better draft pick. It's like the Phoenix Suns took a huge swing on KD and Bradley Beal. Everybody's freaking out. But you know who could really use Kevin Durant? The New York Knicks. And they got picks and they got good young players. Take swings. The whole Russell Wilson thing, it's the end of if Bo Nix can play. The dude completed 77% of his passes last year. He's Drew Brees with mobility potentially. The Russell Wilson drama won't matter. It didn't for the Rams. It didn't for the Packers. It didn't for the Bucs. 4 of the top 5 dead cap hits made the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying I'm rooting for it or it's ideal. but it's not as punitive as everybody makes it out to be. The San Francisco 49ers draft Trey Lance, give up a boatload of picks. Are they in the Super Bowl? Don't they get into the NFC Championship? Take a big swing. It's either going to get you gold bars and trophies or close to it. And if not, it's amazing the opportunities that arise if you hit on a draft pick. You don't even have to have Caleb Williams. Brock Purdy is getting to big games. Bo Nix can absolutely do the same with Sean Payton. All right, Knicks are freaking out. By the way, here is Albert Breer earlier this week on the Broncos' confidence, what they believe Bo Nix is.
When Sean Payton got the numbers back from their analytics people, I'm telling you, like in so many different categories, critical categories, Bo Nix was number one. So you had the play style, you had all these critical categories, and then you had the meeting in Eugene. And I'll give you one anecdote. Sean Payton pointed down at Bo Nix's backpack and said, "What do you have in there?" So Bo Nix emptied his backpack. He had a pair of football cleats. He had a roll of athletic tape, and he had a lacrosse ball in there that he uses to crack his back. And the Broncos looked at that and said, this kid is all about football.
They're going to be fine in Denver as long as Bo Nix can play, and I think he can.
But this one's for Pat.